Hi, I'm Dia and you guys are watching Dianosaur. Today is my stop in the Escapist Book Company book tour for the book. I said book a lot of times. The Monsters We Feed. Yeah, this time I have a physical copy and I really want to thank the author for sending me a copy. And yeah, it arrived at the perfect time, and although I couldn't read from the physical copy, but it arrived, the day before my stop. So yeah, I'm so happy that it came. It was such a surprise when it came in the mail. I was like, yay, I'm so happy. So yeah, that's it. So today we are gonna do something different. I'm not gonna review the book. I actually didn't have time to read the whole book, so I'm gonna do a first chapter impression. And let's see what the book is about, what's written in the dust jacket of the book. And so it's quite a long description. I thought it would be, like this much, but it's like this much. Anyway, so it says, be careful which shadows you peer into. You never know when you might find a monster staring back at you. That's interesting. The morning before he found the dead body, Jathan Algevin thought he had his whole life just the way he wanted it. He knows his city inside and out and doesn't bother carrying a sword, trusting his wits and his fists well enough to get by, hustling extra coin by rattling out loathsome magi to the law for execution. He and his sister Lyra have watched out for each other ever since the day they were orphaned by a bloodthirsty rogue sorcerer. And now they finally have steady work, good friends, and the freedom to spend every night laughing at the bottom of a bottle. But nothing lasts forever. When he stumbles across a brutal murder, Jathan discovers a strange crystal lens that opens his eyes to an invisible world full of magic and terror lurking just beneath the surface of his own, making him question everything he thought he knew. I'm just checking if it's still recording because sometimes it stops recording and I don't want that to happen. But will gazing into his new arcane realm lead Jathan to save lives or help destroy them? With dangerous people hunting for the lens, monstrous lies unraveling his life, and a hidden underworld calling to him, it is only a matter of time before his whole world comes crashing down. Will he find the answers he is looking for, or will he only find a monster needing to be fed? And that is how you do it, guys. That intro, like that description is bomb. And when the book had come out, there was so much hype surrounding it. I was like, okay, what is it about? So it was marketed as a fantasy noir, and I was like, okay, I need that in my life. And when I, read that intro, read that summary, what do you call it? Read that excerpt or blurb, let's call it blurb. When I read that blurb, at that point when it had come out, I was like, sold, I'm sold. And it was on my Kindle. Like, I had Kindle Unlimited at that time, and I had, got the book on Kindle Unlimited. But for some reason, other, like, I didn't find time to read the book. Like, there were so many other books to review and all that. So when the tour was announced, I was like, okay, I need to, sign up for that because that will finally make me read the book. And sad to say, the tour has not made me read the book. I've just read the first chapter. I'm so sorry. But that first chapter was bomb. Like, it's everything you need in a book. The first line is like, everyone's world changes when you find a dead body. Like, something similar to that. How cool is that opening line? And the first chapter is a bit long. Like, it's around 40-50 pages. Like, that's long for me. And yeah, you can see sweat trickling down my face because I have the fan off. Summers in India is hell, and shooting, videos in summer is hell. Anyway, aside is over. Let's talk about the book. So the first chapter, we see Jathan, our main character. He is kind of like, uh, what do you call it? Like, the city has magistrates, like law enforcers, and he is kind of like an informant for those law enforcers. So I, from what I could get from the first chapter, is that magic, like unlicensed use of magic, is banned, and if you use magic and are not registered, with the city, you will be captured, like you will be arrested. So Jathan, he kind of, looks around to see if people are doing magic illegally, and he informs the magistrates about, illegal magic use in the city. And he is an orphan. Like, some years ago, he and his sister were orphaned when their parents were killed by this rogue sorcerer, what I, read in the blurb. So that's why he hates, mages. Like, mages are like, you know he's like, mages are evil people, and I want them to die and all that kind of stuff. So Jathan is our, main boy, is a party boy, and he, when he gets, like, in the opening chapter, he informs upon this some child doing magic and all that, and for his work he gets some money, and he immediately spends it on booze. I like Jathan. He immediately spends it on booze, and he has a sister, elder sister Lyra, and they have a group of friends and they meet. So there are many different terms, like two words, they are fused together to form a new term, like ooze, some not lush bottom, like some weird terms are there, which if I read further I'll get to know what these terms mean. And so they are in this, like, very swanky place, and while going back home, Jathan is like, I need to pee, and he goes on to pee, and he sees a dead body, and he's like, I need to, check, like, I need to check uh who this person is, if they need help. So from a distance he was like, someone is lying there. So he didn't know it's a dead body, like the person was dead. He's like, okay, I need to check if the person is still alive and if he needs help. And his sister is like, no, you won't go, like, you won't go alone, I'll go with you. And Jathan goes, to check on the body, and he sees that it's like the body of this, like, he goes and, like, searches his pockets and everything, and he finds something that makes, like, okay, I need to tell you about, what is the name. Like, there are magistrates there are another group of people who use a magical lens that can help them see magic all around, like the aura of magic around them. So I forgot l- the name the of the group of people. I forgot the name. So anyway, this person, this dead person, he belongs to that group. Like, he is one of those. Like, Jathan finds that, like, thingy, the thingamajig, the lens thing in his pocket. And so he's like, oh shit, like, this dude, he should not be dead. Like, because they are very feared and they are very powerful people. And he sees that it's not an accidental death, someone, killed him. Someone, like, there was, like, what do you call it, um trauma to his head, and that was not from a fall. So he's like, shit, like, what did I get myself into? And then his sister comes along, and then his sister is like, those people, he sees that there are other dead bodies, and those dead bodies belong to gangers, like gang people. And they probably had this, encounter, and they killed each other off. And his sister comes then, and she's like, some people are coming, let's go. And they hide over somewhere, and there are, like, other people coming. And uh that's when they escape from there, and that's where the chapter ends. And the chapter opens and closes with the same line: everyone's life changes the day they see a dead body. And that is like such a cool thing. And I absolutely loved the way the chapter ended. It gives you enough to, to grab your attention, but it does not reveal too much. It's not info dumpy. Like, there are new terms and everything. Like, there is world building in the first chapter. Like, I mean, come on, there are 50 pages in the first chapter, so there will be some sort of world building in there, right? So you get to know about this world bit by bit. Like, everything is not given to you at the same time. And yeah, like, you get to see the world from Jathan's point of view. And what I felt is that the city in this, the place, the city, the setting in this story is gonna play a huge role. Like, it will be its own thing in the story, like, it will be its own character in the story. Because the author was like, talking a lot about how the city feels, and how the city looks, smells. And like, there are descriptions upon descriptions about the city. And I feel in a noir, like, in generally in noirs, city or the setting where the story is taking place, that plays an important role too. So I feel that the city in this one is gonna play an important role, and we are gonna see how corrupted this place is. How, things that the way they look on the outside, that's not how it's on the inside. And so from what I can tell, so I think on Goodreads we get a different blurb in which we see that there is another person that's gonna be introduced, another POV, and that person is a Magi, and that person has to team up with Jathan, and they have to, and that person has to team up with Jathan, and they have to, work together to get out of the mess that they have created or gotten into, or something like that. So I have a feeling that it's gonna be about, oh, I forgot to tell you. So this book is a standalone in this big world called Lumina World. So, the author, Thomas Hart Riley, I don't think I said his name. Oh my god, I forgot to say his name in the beginning of the video. I'm so sorry, Thomas. So, he has another book in the same world called We Break Immortals. I think that's the name of the book. It's a chunker. And this book is set in the same world, but not with the same characters, different characters. And you don't need to read that book in order to read this one. And there are gonna be a series of standalones, and that series is gonna continue, but there will be on the side a series of standalones that you can read. And this is the first one in that series of standalone. Wait, what was I talking about? I was talking about something which made me think about this one, the series thingy. And yeah, so the last part was kind of confusing. So what I feel is gonna the book is gonna be like is that it's gonna shine a light on the society that these characters live in, how corrupted it is, and how like hypocritical these people on top are, and how Jathan and his sister and people from their group, they are privileged, they don't know what is going around, and uh, yeah, it's gonna be like that. I have a feeling that the book is gonna be about that. And the only thing about this chapter is that I found the characters a bit annoying, like Jathan and his sister, like especially the sister. I found her kind of annoying, but I have a feeling that there's gonna be character development, and she will change, hopefully. Like, I don't want this to be another Doro one. So if you guys don't know, I read Contract in Soul Phone a few months ago, and there was this character called Donovan in that, and oh my god, the character was so annoying. And by the end of the book, he changed, but that wasn't enough. Like, it didn't make up for all the annoying shit he did in the beginning of the book. And I hope that's not gonna be the case with Lyra over here. So yeah, if it happens, I'll be mad. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope this was helpful. The first chapter is really good. Like, it's a good first chapter to, pull in audiences. Like, sometimes what happens is that uh on Kindle Unlimited, like, I'll download a book and then I'll read the first line. If the first line grabs my attention, I'll keep on reading. If the first chapter, I'll read the first chapter, and if the first chapter is good, I'll keep the book. If the first chapter is kind of like meh, I'll be like, okay, let's not, read it right now. Like, let's keep it in the back of my head for now, and I'll come back to it later. So it's a very good first chapter. If I had read it, like that on Kindle Unlimited, I would have been like, I need to read this chapter, like, I need to read this book immediately, and I need to, like, continue, like, I can't put it down. So, yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.